Thanks, Chase. A bill in the Texas House to create an active shooter alert system cleared a major hurdle this week. This was all inspired by the 2019 shooting rampage in Odessa that claimed 7 lives and hurt 25 others.
We want to make sure that when you get an active shooter alert on your phone, that it means something. And so one way that we're going to try to do that is limit the geographic scope of where these are sent out.
Now families are speaking out about how this bill could have saved their loved ones.
ABC Big 2's Rob Tuke joins us live from Odessa. Rob, you spoke with 2 families today about what this could mean to them.
Aaron and Carson, that's right. They hope this bill can help other people. And safety has always been on the forefront of their minds. Now they're also hoping another tragic day will be stopped before it ever happens.
When something really tragic happens, you're left with a lot of questions, and they always start with what if. What if he'd known? What if this? What if that? And you just kind of beat yourself up over it.
Carla Byrne is the sister of Joe Griffith. Joe was with his family at a stoplight when the gunman opened fire.
You know, my brother was just driving down the road with his whole family in the car, his children on their way to get their pictures taken, not even knowing that he's in the middle of a war zone.
Carla wonders, what if her brother was alerted about an active shooter?
You know, there's no way to know, but I think he would have stood a better chance. You know, if he had, he was like all of us. Your phone is like a third arm. It's always on you, and he would have seen that alert, and he was a super smart guy, and I think he would have stayed home.
Rosie Granados is the twin sister of Mary Granados.
And so I miss her every day, and it gets heavier and heavier every time.
Mary was on her mail route August 31st when a gunman hijacked her mail van. Rosie supports this new bill because it would tell others to take shelter.
Because our loved ones didn't get the chance to do that, and this could save a lot of lives.
And Rosie says her family didn't get a notification about the shootings when they were happening. And she too wonders if a fast alert system could have saved Mary's life.
I can't compare her to anybody in my own, my eyes. I have never seen anybody like her.
And that her twin sister would have wanted something to help keep others safe if there was an active shooter.
She cared about people a lot and people's safety. So I'm sure that she would love it to pass.
If passed by the state Senate and the state House, the Texas Active Shooter Alert System would become law September 1st of this year. Live in Odessa, Rob Tuke, ABC Big 2 News.